Yeah, you can look to people and for certain characteristics, but it goes deeper than that. For example, we might all belong to groups like, when it comes to training, for example, I might be, taller, so I could look at someone taller. So then you got a tall versus short division, or long limb versus short limb division.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could have has a lot of stress. And then, okay, you could now be a few categories. You could be tall with stress, without stress. You could be short with stress and without stress. And then you introduce more
It's a
variables,
lot of
better
categories.
food quality. And then it goes more and more and more. And you get to the stage where the individual, even if they're the majority of all these different groups, would still be the ultimate minority. And this is
Mm-hmm.
why you've got to treat people as individuals. Yes, they can. They belong to different brackets, but there's going to be a really low chance you can have a bunch of case studies that are across. Literally, how many variables do we really look into when we're doing programs on? Like 50, and then like think of
Mm-hmm.
how many combinations will be with 50. It could be
Mm-hmm.
A, and then like A B, blah blah blah. It could be so many different things. So that's why you got to tie the individual again.
Mm-hmm.
It really ties to, you've got to set your goals for you. And as for the looking back part of things you're mentioning, I think it's important because, I think in my life, I used to just have this observation and I just thought, oh, okay, maybe it's just something I'm seeing. Maybe there's a bit of a bias. Maybe there's
More
just
to it.
causation doesn't equal correlation kind of thing. And I just noticed that some people that would have success that continue to have more and more success, and other people that just have a hard time, they just have more and more bad things happen. It's like you just can't catch a break. And it turns out there's actually a psychological thing behind it. It's called the Mathews effect. So the idea, if we can slowly accumulate small little wins and wins and wins,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like the idea of getting the ball rolling. It's kind of like investing. You get like a little bit, it's easy to invest, make more money, which will make you more money, blah, blah, blah. A little bit like that. So with the goal setting as well, so we're talking about goals, and you could have, realistic, manageable goals in a fair time frame, all these things, and it could be to be a 200 kilo squatter in 10 years. But it's also important to have your goals of being able to squat 60 kilos with good form. There's also the goal of 70 kilos good form. And you ride this momentum. We're chatting about it the other day with Seb's program, how you get the easier weeks in. That momentum and that win to win to win is not to be undervalued. And it really will transfer to the rest of your life as well. And that is something that has been documented. It's not just some hokey pokey like promise or claim. So I think with your goals as well, looking at these big picture things, but you've got to understand the Mathews effect and the small things inside there. As well as it's going to be like, oh, wow, this looks so overwhelming to climb to the top of Mount Everest. Even if it's reasonable, it's good to know you've done the little things along the way, like you've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for watching the Forge podcast. If you enjoyed it, we'd love for you to subscribe. If you want to find out more about us, check the description. And as always, thank you for listening.